Are you thinking about launching something new this year? Well, if you do, hopefully today's episode will show you how to do a lessons learned session of that process once it's totally complete. I'm going to share what went well in my launch process, what didn't go so well, and the lessons that I learned launching 3 things at one time. Welcome to the Mind Your Time podcast with Shannon Baker. I'm your coffee-loving host and the CEO of a boutique consulting company where I work with purpose-driven women like you who have tight schedules and an aversion to technology. But they're ready to get organized and create business systems so they can leave overwhelm behind and get things done. I strongly believe that being busy is not a badge of honor. We just need to be more intentional with our time and create success on our own terms. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine, and let's dive into today's topic. So whether you're new to this podcast or we're just connecting, let me give you a little history of where I've been in my business. When this episode airs live on February the 2nd, 2023, I will just have finished what I call a hustle mode period where I launched 3 new things in my business. Now, this process started in May of 2022, where I really put my business on hold to figure out where I wanted to go because things weren't aligning. My podcast wasn't matching my services. My income had hit a plateau and I was totally maxed out, and I knew I needed to make a change. So, after pausing everything, including this podcast, I took some time and made some strategic investments to help me move forward in my business. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So, let me start by telling you the 3 things that I launched. In November, I launched a new audio freebie. In December, I rebranded and relaunched this podcast. And then in January, I launched my membership, finally, which I have been wanting to do for years. So through this process, let me start by talking about what went well and how I was able to do all of this at once, because it was not an easy task. But the key to me being able to do this was having a strategy in place that I could execute. I am truly an implementer. If I have a plan, I will work that plan to death to get it done. So I invested in 2 amazing women. Stacey Harris of Uncommonly More helped me to align the podcast with my services and get all of that together. And I talked to Stacey about how things have been going since I started executing after that strategy call with her. I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes. And I also started working with Samantha Harris in her Exponential Income Accelerator, which was her fall cohort, so that I could launch my membership, which is the Mighty Society membership, and launched in January. One of the biggest things that really is a big win for me in this process was that it validated the ideas that I had for my business. I did a lot of research and conducted many calls with several different businesswomen in the community that I really wanted to grow my business with. And that really is how I knew how I needed to create the membership, but also what services I needed to offer because they needed to change in order for me to achieve sustainable growth. So those 2 things went well. Overall, in this process, investing in the expert assistance of others was the greatest decision that I made in order for me to be in a position to grow my business. So now, through all of that, after executing my strategy, I looked at what didn't go well. And there were some things that definitely did not go well. The biggest, I was totally exhausted, not only going through this process, but after the process. But it was a labor of love because a lot of work was involved to get my business aligned and cohesive and to get everything working together. So it was really worth it. Would I do it again? Not this way. And my hopes and dreams for the services that I offer now and the way my business is structured is that I do not have to make any major changes for quite some time. Now, what also did not go well is all of my workflows were not as together as I wanted them to be. Yes, the tech geek had some technical issues. One of the issues was the email sequence with the audio freebie. Those who initially signed up to get that mini training received an email that said, click here in multiple places, and the click here did not work. So my heart dropped when I got the first email that let me know that. I sent out individual email responses with the links and I got it corrected. I thought I had checked the email sequence, but I had missed something, which that happens when you have a lot on your plate. I just gave myself some grace and just kept it going. Also, when I sent out the link for people to join the membership, I used the wrong link. Originally, I was posting the link for them to join in Stripe, which did not activate the workflow that I had in place that connected the Heartbeat app, which is where the membership is set up on, to ConvertKit to start my welcome series. So I had to go back and send out individual email invitations to get members to sign in. So now it's an extra task that I'm going to have to continue to follow up to make sure that they get inside so that we can start to work together in the membership. And why did this happen? Because I had a lot going on. So again, biggest lesson learned from me, don't do so much at once. So take a lesson from me. Don't do all the things at one time. Okay. The next thing that didn't go so well was because I really kind of came down to a deadline when it comes to launching the membership. It was not completely set up the way that I wanted it to be when it launched on January the 17th. So I had to go back in there and do some rework to get it to start looking how I wanted it to look. And now I love it and I can't wait to build it out even more. But I was tight on time, so I just had to put it out there. Done is better than perfect, right? As I've gone back and listened to the episodes inside of that mini training or that audio freebie, I've got more clarity in my business now, and I don't necessarily like how I formatted the content. So that's back on my list to do some revisions to that. But that's going to be after I recuperate from all the things that I've done over the past several months. The lessons that I've learned through this entire process: don't launch 3 things at one time. It's a lot of work to just put one thing out there into the online space. But it was a necessity in order for me to be able to focus on my growth goals this year. Another lesson: investments matter. You need to pay an expert to help you and shorten the learning curve when it comes to things outside of your expertise. Pay for one-on-one strategic calls or consultations so that you can just address whatever help you need and just get things done. Strategy also matters. You have to have clarity as far as what you want, because that was really the key to me getting all these pieces to work together. Once I had the big idea of what I wanted my business to look like, I paid these 2 wonderful ladies to help me make that come true, and they delivered. And when it comes to executing that strategy, your commitment matters, because it is not going to be easy. It is not easy launching anything new. But if you're committed to yourself and to your own success, then you need to just put in the work. Speaking of clarity, it's one of the 3 C's that are essential for your growth. You need clarity in your business in order for you to get the clients that you want, and you need the clients that you want in order for you to get cash. This comes down to, well, the process starts with the 3 questions that I consistently tell people they need to be able to answer. Why did you start your business? How is this business supposed to serve you and your family now? And what is the long game when it comes to your business? What is it supposed to do for you and your family? And when it comes to how you structure your business or the things that you offer, you need to know what you're selling, who you're selling it to, and how you're going to sell it to them. That's where your systems come in, but you have to have that clarity first. And let me break it to you. If you do not have this clarity in your business right now, you need to hit pause and really work this out because it is the key to you being able to move forward. Now that I've got all these pieces in place, I already see things happening and I see the possibilities for the future for me to continue to grow my business. But of course, it's only happening because now those right pieces are in place in my business and everything is aligned. So this is life after launching. So again, to recap, make sure you invest your money in some expertise outside of your zone so that you can just get things done. Make sure you're clear on what it is you're selling, who you're selling it to, and how you're selling it. And then make sure all of that aligns with how your business is supposed to support your lifestyle. That is so key to you being able to launch something that actually works for your business. It pains me to see people launching thing after thing after thing because nothing works. It's spaghetti marketing. Don't waste your energy. Stop, get this clarity in your business, and then trust me, you're going to have to put in some work. But the return on your investment on the other side is going to be greater than you can imagine. Now, if you'd like to hear more about my launch process and the things that happen behind the scenes, please feel free to connect with me on Instagram at _Shannon Baker. I would love to hear from you and even your thoughts on my lessons learned process. So that's all I have for this episode today. I hope you enjoyed it and that it gave you some insight into what life may be like behind the scenes of launching some great things in your business, because the possibilities are endless again, as long as you have clarity. I just want to thank you for tuning in this week. I hope today's episode was helpful and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So please feel free to DM me on Instagram at _Shannon Baker and let me know your thoughts. My goal is to help you enjoy your journey because I know it's not easy, but there is strength in numbers. If you have any topics or ideas you would like for me to talk about on the podcast in the future, please make sure you reach out and let me know as well. I cannot wait to hear from you. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.